Hi and welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm Geoff Jones from Reach, Derby, having moved in January from our church in Birmingham to join the family of God here, and it's great to be with you. So together we will be looking at Ephesians 5:1-2. Now for all those die-hard daily devotional fans, you know what to do next. Yes, click on the link below to enjoy the presence of God as we worship together. Isn't it great to spend time with God? Now let's hear what God wants to show us from his word. I'm reading from the NIV, Ephesians 5:1-2. Be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. These two verses follow a long list of do's and don'ts in the previous chapter. Now you may have thought that if you keep them all, you would be well on the way to the new you becoming like God. Yet the Apostle Paul raises the bar even higher. He instructs us to be imitators of God. Let me ask you a question. What makes you, you? Is it nature? You were born like it. Or is it nurture? You were taught it. My father was a professional footballer, and my brother and my sisters were all very sporty. We were all fast runners. No one taught us this, we just were. We had inherited our speed and competitiveness from our dad. But there are some things you have to learn. Did you know you weren't born with the ability to forgive? You have to learn to forgive. But you can't learn to be imitators of God. You become imitators of God as dearly loved children. In the Gospel of John, he puts it like this, in John 1:12-13. Yet to all who receive him, to those who believe in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or a husband's will, but born of God. If you receive him, that's Jesus, and believe in his name, you are a child of God. Now this is a mystery. Yet we can now become imitators of God because we are born of God. We have his DNA. There is one characteristic of God that sums him up. That is love. For God is love. Now this is important. If you are a child of God, you can't help but manifest God's love. You see, we carry a virus more contagious than COVID-19. It's called God's love. And Paul shows us how to spread that virus. By walking. Let me explain myself. In the King James translation of the Bible, verse 2 puts it like this, and walk in love. I like this. Walking is just putting one foot in front of the other. So to live a life of love is as easy as walking. As a child of God, wherever you walk, you take God's love. You can't help it. It's your nature. You are like your heavenly dad, a chip off the old block. Now my brother and my sisters were all very different, yet from the same parents. As God's child, you are unique. You are special. No one else can walk where you walk. Wherever God has placed you, your sacrifice of love has a smell to it, a fragrant offering to God that only you can bring. Your sacrifice will be different to mine or anyone else's. As you may have noticed, smiling doesn't come naturally to me. And whilst on our daily lockdown walks, I believe God asked me to smile to those who walk by. It was a sacrifice for me. So I've been doing my smiling bit, and it's led to some interesting conversations. I believe God's love has touched those people. We set up a WhatsApp group for our close, and 30 out of the 31 homes have joined. We help one another. We share unwanted items with one another. We share life together, especially what we're about to eat and drink. People from the other end of our road know us by name. Now, I don't know whether that would have happened if it wasn't for lockdown. We are looking for God's love to draw people to Him. So, wherever you are, God's love is. Whatever sacrifice you make for others is a fragrant offering to God. If you remember one thing, remember this. You are a child of God, unique and special to Him. You reflect God's love to those around you. So my prayer for you is this: be yourself. And that others would see God's love in you. God bless and thank you.